All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakat Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Mawan back at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be called If 10 Be Found, I'll Spare the City. All right. And this is going off of Genesis 18. All right. Which I was, meditating on that scripture. And the same way Abraham was trying to spare the city, all right, he pretty much was asking the Lord if he could, if he found this many people, would he spare the city? But Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah continually kept telling him, okay, if you could find this many people, I'll spare it. And, it started from 50 going all the way down to 10. All right. And pretty much, me meditating on it is basically what we're doing today, trying to find those righteous ones so we can be spared, But the thing is, just like in that time of Abraham, all right, there was none to be found. There was none to be found righteous. You see? So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah had to destroy that place. And that's something that we've realized being in this truth, that we go out on these highways and hedges all the time, and it's just like these people just don't hearken on to this word. Our people are so stiff-necked and so lost that, they lack knowledge, and you could just see what their outcome is going to be, death, because they don't hearken on to this word, man. No matter how hard we search, how much we preach out on these highways and hedges, nobody wants to take heed to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. And in the same like manner that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, all right, it's going to be the same thing when Babylon goes down, man. But even worse, more intense fire, you see, nuclear missiles, okay? But, matter of fact, let me grab this scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 7. And in 27, and it says, Behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that Yahweh has made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. All right. And you had King Solomon, all right, that was Yahweh Shai. Out of 1,000 men, man, he found one person that was righteous. Out of 1,000 women, he found none. And that's how it would be when we're out on these highways and hedges, man. We get one person to listen every once in a while. You see, because let's grab that real quick. This is 1 Corinthians 1:26. And it says, For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But Yahweh has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and base things of the world, and things which are despised has Yahweh chosen, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. All right. So point is, man, not many noble men are called into this truth. You see, you don't have a lot of people being called into this truth, man. Scriptures say many many have been called, all right, but few are chosen. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab Second Ezra's. I hate when it does that. Salaki, give me 1 second. He doesn't want to go all the way down. Come on, for real. All right, but many are called, but few are chosen at the end of the day. All right, this is Second Ezra's 8:1. And it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much mold whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. You see? And there's not many men out there that are worthy of being called gold, man. You see? Most of these people are straight mold. That's why it says, let the multitude that are born in vain perish, man. I believe that's in the same exact, in the same one. Might be in the 6th verse. I mean, in the 6th chapter. But yeah, it is. It was 9. Salakia. The Second Ezra 9:22 says, let the multitude perish then, which is born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. You see? So the Lord kept his grape, man. He kept his remnant. All right? That's the 1/3 that's going to get the elect. I mean, Salaki, that's going to get it. That's the elect that's going to get it, the 1/3. But the rest are just born in vain, man. So the Lord said, let the multitude perish. Let them be put to death, man, because they're never going to get it. No matter what you tell them, they're not going to be able to get it. And when you hear this account, man, all right, it just reminds me of how we're on these highways and byways at all times. All right. And it's almost like we're begging to the Lord, you know, destroy not our people, man. But no matter what you say, none of them is getting it. All right. So let me start reading Genesis 18. Let me make sure I'm screen sharing, which I wasn't. Salakia, I am now. All right, this is Genesis 18:1. Let's take it from the top. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. All right, and he sat in the tent, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. All right, so angels appeared, okay, unto Abraham. See, the Lord sends, you know, his men. He sends angels. All right, when you wanted to inquire of the Lord, especially, let's grab that real quick. 1 Samuel 9:9. It says, before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Yahweh, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. For he that is called a prophet was before time called a seer. See, so the Lord speaks to his actual men. All right, you're not going to physically sit there and speak with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right, but he speaks to his men, his angels. You know, he might send the angel out to speak to you. All right, that's why you have to, you know, I think that's Hebrews 7. Hebrews 7 and maybe 10. Give me 1 second, Salaki. I know it's in Hebrews. Forgot exactly where. Oh, it's 13. This is Hebrews 13 and 2. And it says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. All right. So sometimes the Lord might just send an angel after you, man. You see, send an angel for you to entertain. All right. So at this moment, all right, you got Abraham that's speaking to 3 angels. He's entertaining 3 angels. It says, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground and said, my Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away. I pray thee from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched and wash your feet and the rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your hearts, after that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, netted, all right, kneaded or netted, all right, and make cakes upon the hearth. It says that, and Abraham ran unto the herd and fetched the calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. All right. And it says, and Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxen old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child, which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? Yeah, because anything's possible, man. All right, you having a baby, as a matter of fact, it comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. If the Lord allows it, man, he's going to allow you to have a child. But see, she didn't believe that she was going to have that's why she laughed. She didn't believe that she was going to have a child because she was old in age, and so was Abraham. And it says, and at that time, and at the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou didst laugh. And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him? For I know him, that he will command his children in his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to do justice and judgment. And that just goes to show that that's what we meant to be out here to do, man. To be, you know, to bring justice, to bring judgment, you know, having the spirit of discernment, being able to judge, all right, being true rulers. And without, you know, for you to be a true ruler, you have to have the spirit of discernment. You have to be able to judge, okay? You have to be able to bring justice. And it says that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And the Lord Yahweh said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, this is how wicked this place was, man. Their sins was grievous. I will go down now and see whether they have done it altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? All right, and this is why it tells you to, get up out of the ways of Babylon, man. Come up out of her. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that. That's leave this in man, I forgot where it's at. I think it's in 2 Corinthians 7. Give me 1 second. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. You see, come up out of the ways of them, meaning what? Among them. Come out from among them, meaning come out of the ways of Babylon the Great. Come out from all the wickedness that these 2/3 are doing. Separate yourselves from them. Be ye holy. That's what it means to be separate, man, to be holy. It says, saith the Lord Yahushua, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. See, touch not the unclean thing. You want to strive to be as clean as possible, man. Blameless, spotless before the Lord. Okay. Let me grab another one, which is in Revelations. This is Revelations 18:4, and it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. You see, because if you continue to move in the ways of the society, man, you could be a righteous person, but you being around a bunch of wicked ass people, all right, could get you put down. That's why it tells you right here in the 14th verse, all right, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion has light with darkness? You see? So you're not supposed to be mixed in with these unbelievers. All right, whoever's a friend of this world, all right, that's enmity to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, James 4:4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of this world is enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of this world is an enemy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see, you're considered as an enemy when you're mixed in with the rest of this world. Okay, they had their chance at the moment to what? To hearken on to the word, all right, but they refused. And what happens when you refuse, man? You become an enemy. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab that, Zechariah 7:11. And it says, but they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts and as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts has sent in the spirit by the former prophets. Going back to, he speaks through his prophets, man. Therefore came a great wrath and the Lord of hosts, from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it came to pass that as he cried, they would not hear. So they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts. But I have scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations, whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. All right, so they all refuse to hearken, and whoever continues to refuse to hearken, man, you're gonna what? And likewise perish. All right. 2 Chronicles 15:13. Whosoever shall not seek the Lord shall be put to death, whether great or small, man or woman. It don't matter. All right. You have to come up out of the ways of Babylon. All right. So going back to 18 and 20 in Genesis, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me. If not, I will know." And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. But Abraham stood yet there before the Lord Yahweh. And Abraham drew near and said, "Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?" Okay. It says, "Peradventure that there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?" All right, because let me grab that real quick. This is Zephaniah 3 and 5. All right, it says, "The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning does he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no right, no shame." Salakia. Okay, knoweth no shame. So the Lord does right. Okay, the Lord, all right, is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai recompenses you according to your tribulations. He judges in righteousness, man. He's not gonna make a mistake when he judges somebody or when he puts you down. There's a reason why. All right, whoever perished being innocent? Nobody, man. You died, that's because your ass was wicked. You did something wicked. All right, so you have to what? You have to take heed to that, man. Back to Genesis 18 and 23. "And Abraham drew near and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within. Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?" And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, "Behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 or Salakia, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for the lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it. I will not do it if for 40's sakes, for 40's sake. Okay. So he said he went from 50, all right, down to what? 45, okay, down to 40. So he said, if you find 40 out there, I will spare the whole entire city. You see? Then it says, and he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall be 30. There shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua went his way as soon as he had left communing, Salakia, with Abraham, and Abraham returned onto his place. All right. So it went from 50 all the way down to 10. All right. And the Lord basically told him, if you can find 10 people, all right, then I'll spare the city. And why do you think he kept going down? Because he knew he was not going to find anybody, man. There was nobody that was going to be found righteous, so the place had to be destroyed. So it's the same thing when we on these highways and hedges, man. We're constantly trying to bring the people into this word, and we got people that bite all the time, the hook, you see? But the thing is, as quick as they hear the word is as quick as Satan is there to drift them out, shift them out of the truth. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is Matthew 13 and Salakia. Salakia. What did I want? The parable of the sower. That's right. Right here. This is I'll start from 1. It says Matthew chapter 13 and 1. It says the same day when Yahweh shot out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, all right, by the ways side, all right. And these are the ones that, as quick as they hear the truth, man, they're shifted out. They're sifted out of the truth as quick as they hear it. And the fowls came and devoured them up. Yeah, the fowls is representing these damn demons, Satan, all right? And devouring them up, meaning what? They take them out of the truth, all right? Which if you go down, it tells you right here, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. It says, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. You see? So as quick as you heard this word, Satan right there to shift you right out of it. Okay? Especially if you have no understanding. This is why you have to build that rock solid foundation of having your Yahushua, man. Because if you set that rock solid foundation from the start, all right, as you continue to grow in this truth, nothing's going to be able to separate you from the love of Hamashiach. All right, so you don't want to be those that fall in the wayside, man. That's how quick Satan's going to take you out. All right. So going back, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatah. So going back to these last two verses, 18 and 32 in Genesis, he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry. Yeah, because he kept dropping the number down. So, Abraham, he felt like the Lord was going to be angry with him because he kept telling him to bring that number down. But at the end, the Lord just kept telling him, all right. Why? Because he knew he was not going to find nobody righteous. Same exact thing that we're doing, man. As many times as we go on these highways and hedges, you see us, people still don't hearken on to the word. You see the things that we are speaking about coming to actual life, and people still won't hearken on to the word. You see? And that's why, let's grab this. Second Ezra 9 and 10. 9 and 9. It says, I'll start from 7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. See? And that's why them despising his word. All right, let's go to 2 Chronicles 36 and 16, I believe it is. Yep. Let's grab it from 15. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, power of their fathers, sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place." You see? So the Lord is showing you that he has mercy and compassion on you by sending out his messengers, man, the prophets. They're on these highways and hedges. You see? Because you got a lot of people, they got that mentality, like the Lord ain't saving me, man. The Lord ain't good to us, you know. The Lord ain't dealing with us, man. The Lord is dealing with you every single day. As long as this word is out, as long as brothers is out on these highways and hedges, that's the Lord dealing with you every day. You just too stupid to not see it, man. You see? It says, "But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai rose against his people till there was no remedy." And that's why it tells you in Sirach 5 and 7, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord." All right, because then what sudden destruction comes upon you? All right, swift destruction upon you. All right, so going back to 2 Ezra 9 and 9, and it says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments." You see, you're going to dwell in torments. All right, tells you that in, let's just grab that real quick, the 8th chapter, 8 and 50, and it says, "For many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." You see, great pride. So for great pride, you get great miseries. It says, "But understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee." That's what we do. And we go out there on the highways and hedges seeking to see who's that similar brother or, few aquas that's out there that's got the like mind of Yahushua, man, that's able to receive this truth. It says, "For unto you is paradise open and the tree of life is planted. The time is come to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom." You see how beautiful does that sound? Sounds amazing. See, a city is builded for us, waiting for us. Rest is allowed finally. We ain't got to worry about death, tears, our bodies getting weary. See, rest is finally allowed. We ain't got to worry about getting up at fucking 3, 4 in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning to go to work and go slave yourself up just to put wages in your pocket and to put wages into a pocket full of holes, like it tells you in Haggai 1 and 6. Okay? Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Yeah, because once you come into this truth, man, the Lord basically, it's like he seals up that evil that was in you. Yeah, your mind's still going to go off. You still going to go off because you subject onto vanity, but it's no longer you that's doing it. It's just your flesh that's going off, man. But deep down in your mind, you don't want to do none of that. All right. But that's, we have to go through that type of situation, because what would be the point of Yahushua going on the cross and giving us grace? All right. So we're meant to go off. So Yahushua has a reason to come back. He had a reason to be crucified for our sins. Okay. It says, "Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality." Yeah, because man was made to be immortal. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, around the 27th verse, we were made to be immortal. All right. And it says, "And therefore, as thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish." Yeah, we shouldn't be worrying about these that's going to perish, how they going to perish, because we just know that they're going to be done. All right. We should be worrying about those of the elect. It It says, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous. All right. Yeah. You know, mocking us, being straight assholes to us, man. Here it is, we showing true love, trying to make, you know, have yourself repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and people just be acting like straight numbnuts, man. And it said in their heart that there is no power. Yeah, and that knowing they must die. Yeah, because you have people. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is for 2 Peter 3 and 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. But you got people in the spirit where they're just like mocking, like, where's your power? Where's your God? You've been saying that for 3 years. You've been saying that forever. You've been saying that for 15 years. You know, pretty sure the elders and apostles have gone through it where they have heard people tell them, oh man, you've been saying that for 20 years, you know? But see, that's you being unfaithful, and all unfaithful is going to die in their unfaithfulness. All right. So 2 Ezra 8 and what was I? Damn, I lost my spot. Oh, that's why, because I'm at the bottom. Duh. I moved up. And it says 58, and it says, and said in their heart, there is no God. Yeah, and that knowing they must die. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him, in which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee, and the few like thee. Then answered I and said, you see, and that just goes to show you that this truth is meant for few people, man. Many are called, but few are chosen. And just like the time of Abraham, all right, when he was trying to, you know, tell you how to spare, all right, spare Sodom and Gomorrah, he couldn't find nobody that was righteous. That's why that place went down and everybody in it. All right. So it says that these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me. All right. And no man know the hour. And the Lord has only left us what? Clues, man. That's why he said after that, measure the time diligently in itself, which is in the next chapter, in the first verse. You have to measure the time diligently within itself. You see, when you see all these things that are happening right now, which these are the things that he was speaking of, that us being watchmen, we go out there continually and blow the horn, letting you know, well, look, this is through the scriptures. This is happening because the scripture said. All right, this is happening because that said. But again, they still won't what? They will still not turn from their wickedness. Let's go to that real quick. 2 Ezra 16. This is 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish. Actually, I'll start from 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be away mindful of the scourges. You see? So with all these things that are happening, which this is the Lord, these are the signs that the Lord gave you, man. It told you that we were going to be close to the end when you start to see these things. And what? none of these people still turning from their wickedness. They continue to be wicked. Why? Because they love being wicked, man. All right. Jeremiah 4:22. My people are Sodom's children. They're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. All right. Let's grab Romans 1:30. It says, Salakia 32, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. You see? And these people have pleasure in wickedness. All right. They choose not to suffer with the men of the Lord, because why? They want to, let's grab that. Hebrews 11:27. Where's it at? Am I passing it? 25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. See, these people enjoy the pleasures of sin, but they don't realize that shit is only temporary, man. Because when you go for pleasures, man, pleasure is only for the time being. Eventually that pleasure gonna wear off. Eventually that pleasure gonna go away. That's why they'll seek for more pleasure. And with much pleasure comes sin, because pretty much pleasure is sin. Because you're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? You're trying to make the flesh happy. All right. And once the flesh is satisfied and there is no more sin, it needs more. It wants more. It wants something bigger. It wants more excitement than it had the last time. And that's why you continue to put sin upon sin, you know, till it turns into iniquity. Right? So going back to Genesis 18:33, and then it says, which we already read that, but I'm gonna read it again, 18:32, and it says, and he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet, but this once, peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. All right, going to the next. It says the doom of Sodom. It says, and there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground, and he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. Yeah, because the eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom. So that's why they wanted to abide in the street. They wanted to see what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Wanted to see what was going on in these streets late night. And that's what the angels is doing right now on a daily basis, man. They're constantly watching when these people out, you know, out getting bent as hell, all up in these clubs doing wickedness. All right, doing all types of wicked shit. You know, the angels are going back and reporting that to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right. Even the prophets, man. The prophets are also the eyes of the Lord, because we see these things happening around us, and then we go and make a report by what? By bringing out the scriptures, by going on these highways and hedges, all right, and crying on to the Lord and prophesying, man. That's us writing down our report. You see? And it says, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round about, the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. You see, so you had these wicked ass Sodomites, all right, they're seeing the angels and they pretty much wanted to sleep, okay, with the angels. That's why they said, bring them out onto us that we may know them, all right, because let's just take an example. Knowing, saying, matter of fact, hold on, let me see if it comes up in the interlinear. That we may know them, that we may know, yada, yada. All right, and it says, know, learn, experience, acquaint with, be acquainted with a person carnally, instructed. No, it's not gonna say it the way I want it, but how we know that they wanted to have sexual relations was if you go to, let me go to Genesis real quick. Give you a quick example. Genesis, I think it's the 3rd chapter. No, the 2nd chapter. Nope. Salakia. Give me 1 second. There you go. In Adam, this is Genesis 4:1, and it says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived. You see? So it says, and he knew Eve, his wife. How did he know his wife? Yeah, by having sexual relation with her, and she conceived. Yeah, she ended up being pregnant after that. You see? So when you go back to Genesis, all right, they said what? All right, bring them out onto us that we may know them. You see? And Lot went out the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. You see? Because if they weren't talking something wickedly, if they weren't talking, that's how you know that they want to do, you know, something wicked, because he said not to speak wickedly like that. All right? Because if they just wanted to speak to him, you know, get to know them, he would have never said that to them. But he said, do not so wickedly, because what they were saying was that they wanted to sleep with the angels. All right. And it says, but now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, you see? For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. And it's funny because that's like some zombie shit right there. All right. Matter of fact, these devils had so many spirits on them. It was like they was acting like zombies. Let me see the word I want to look up. Give me 1 second. Damn, I know it's a certain word. I haven't gone through that in a while. Is it pressed? It might be pressed. Give me 1 second. Sorry, is it to push assumption? Nah, it's not the word. One of these words, when you go into it, it goes into like zombie-like. I forgot which one it was though. I'm trying to see if I see the is it Nagas? Nah, it's not that one. Salakia. All right, I ain't gonna look for it though. But you could just tell that it was something wicked, that they was acting a certain way, because who the hell wants to break down the door to sleep with some men? All right, so that was like a zombie apocalypse type shit right there. All right, that's how wicked these men were. This is how wicked, how many wicked demons these damn devils had on them, man, that they were trying to knock down the door to get to the angels. All right, and it said, and let me read that again, 19:9, and it says, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs to be a judge. and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the men, even Lot, and came near to break the door. It says, but the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. You see? So the angels came out and pretty much smoked them, man, and hit them with blindness, had them with confusion, had them bugged out. You see? Put a couple of them down. And then it says, and then the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the Lord Yahweh has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. See, even the son-in-laws didn't even believe him, man. They started laughing at him, basically. All right. And it says, and when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, and the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. You see, and this is basically what we're telling these people right now. You see, to not look back at your lives, get out of the ways of this society, all right, and find an escape route, man. And what's that escape route? Salvation, Yahushua, you know, for you to turn back to the Lord, man, and do righteously by him from now on. You see, and the Lord will have what? Mercy upon you. But see, what they did what our people do, what the son-in-laws did, man. They just laugh. They're like, nah, that shit ain't coming, man. That ain't gonna happen, man. You bugged out. You see? And then it says, 18, it says, and Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant has found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. It is not a little one, and my soul shall live. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city for the which thou hast spoken. Salakia. And it says, haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. And again, this is all symbolic of what's going to happen here, because it's not this place, like it tells you in Revelations 11 and 8, is not this place spiritually called Sodom in Egypt. All right. So the same thing, that goes to show that there's no new thing under the sun, man. The thing that was is the thing that which shall be. You see? So this place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and this place is about to get rained down on with missiles this time, man. Missiles, chariot fire, man. And then it says, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord Yahweh, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And again, a representation of what America is going to look like. Because when you read Isaiah the 34th verse, all right, as a matter of fact, let's just jump in that real quick. Isaiah the 34th verse, it tells you the same exact thing. 34th chapter, verse 10. 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. You see? This is talking about America, of what America is going to look like. And the Lord is telling you the same exact thing, okay? That was going to happen, that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah is going to happen in America. All right, which is a matter of fact, let me grab, I believe it's 2 Peter's. Is it 2 Peter's or, no, I think it's 2 Timothy 7. Oh shit, my bad. It might be 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy 1 and 7. No, 7 and 1. Oh no. Nah, you know what it is. It is let me grab it real quick. It was 2 Peter's 2 and 6, and it says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, and condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after shall live ungodly. You see? So Sodom and Gomorrah was an example for the people after that they should never live in that like manner, man, ever again. See, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. You see, it was made as a reminder to never live like that. All right, this is Jude 1 and 7, and it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. You see? And America's going to catch it 144 times worse than what was happening in that time, man. Okay, but let me finish that up. Genesis 19 and 28, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and behold, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when Yahweh destroyed the cities of the plain, that Yahweh remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. Okay, and then, you know, pretty much this is when this will go into when Lot's daughters ended up sleeping with their own father, which that's how incest came about. All right, which also, that's also why, because that's when you had Ammon. All right, you had Ammon and the Moabites, you know, were born. Okay, because of the daughters committing incest, and that's pretty much why you see. That's why the Moabites and the Ammonites look the way they look, with their eyes all chingy and things like that, because of incest. When you go into back in the day, they used to call the Moabites Mongoloids, which Mongoloids, let me go into that. Mongoloids, goes into Down syndrome. Yep, see? Mongoloid. It says Mongoloid. It says, where's it at? It says right here, offensive, idiot, retard. It says a general term of abuse due to association with Down syndrome. You see? And when you commit what do you call it, incest, you know, a lot of those children will come out with Down syndrome and things like that, man. And that's why they look like that. They used to call the Moabites Mongoloids. Right, but yeah, that's what the rest of it goes into. You know, pretty much they ended up sleeping with their fathers because the women thought, because they were in the mountains, they thought they were the only ones alive left. You see, and they ended up sleeping with their father. They got him drunk, and twice they slept with him. You know, the one night the one daughter slept with him, and the next night the other daughter slept with him, and that's how Ammon and the Moab came about, man. But you know, the point was made. All right, that, you know, the whole point of the whole lesson was that the same way, you know, Abraham kept asking the Lord, you know, if he found 10, will he not destroy it? And he just kept basically telling him, you know, he started from 50 all the way to 10. And he told them, go ahead. If you can find that many, I won't destroy it. But the point was that the place got destroyed. Why? Because there was nobody that was worthy to be saved. And it's the same thing when we are on these highways and hedges, man. It's like, it almost feels like we're alone out there in the world, man. Remember, okay? You talk about many called, but few are chosen. There's 8 billion people. 2/3 of our people got to die. All right? Only 1/3 is going to be saved. There's going to be 144,000, which is the elect within the elect. All right? And then the 1/3 is going to be the remaining of the women, of the men, women, and children that are believers. All right? And that number is going to be small. You know, it's real small. So that's why when we're in this truth and we trying to tell people, for the most part, it's almost like out of every 100 people we tell, all right, as a matter of fact, let's take it into King Solomon account. Out of every 1,000 people you go to tell this truth, only one is probably going to get it. You see, if that, because he counted 1,000 men and found one man, and 1,000 women he found none. You see, so. Hey man, that's why it's beautiful to be in this truth, man, and take heed and run with this truth when you can receive it, man, because you might be of the elect, and we're prisoners of hope. So that's what faith is about: the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. We got to be in hopes that the Lord, you know, is going to save us in these last days, all right? Because the Lord ain't got to do nothing, all right? But you know, like he said, if you know you seek out the book, none of these things shall fail. None of these prophecies shall fail. All right. He said, if you gave diligence, he was going to what? You were going to make your election and calling sure. So that's why we got to stay on top of the game at all times, man, and be fervent in the spirit and let nothing separate you from the love of Mashiach. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much the point. You know, it was just something that I was thinking about. It was actually, I was talking to a brother earlier, and I brought up the scripture to him. And then when we brought out this account, I just started thinking about a whole bunch of things right after we got off the phone, and that's what led me to do the video through the spirit, you know. But again, this is all, you know, spiritually done, you know, and what happened in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah is the same thing that's happening now spiritually. Nobody wants to listen. And it's like we're begging to the Lord, don't take this place out. Well, we do want this place to be taken out, but we're trying to guide the elect. But nobody wants to hearken. So a lot of people are going to have to be destroyed, just like everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, basically, you guys are supposed to not look back at your lives and just hearken on to the Lord from here on out in hopes that you'll be saved. That's the only way you'll be out. So with that being said, Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Hakim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Shalom for the brothers and sisters that was tuned in. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatah. Catch you on the next one. Shalom.